As you see me paint this artwork, you'll see me try 3 different styles. You don't have to do 3 different styles on your artwork, but I am doing 3 so that you can see your different choices. One of the choices is you can get inspired by a precious metal. So here I'm going to create a bronze-looking sculpture. So what I need to do for any sort of precious metal, whether that's gold or silver, is I need to create a base color. My base color here is brown, and I'm using a large brush and a medium brush to get all the cracks and crevices and fill them with this base color before I add any detailing. If you're doing gold, you would probably make a light yellow or tan, and if you're doing silver, make a very, very, very light gray. Really get into every single crack and crevice and fill up the space. Your overlapping paper mache will make a few bumps and holes, so make sure you get your small brush into those spots. For the most of the sculpture, though, you're going to want to use a large brush to base coat it with. Here I'm going to kind of show what you would do if you want it to kind of look porcelain. So here I'm painting a white base coat first, and you would do that all over your sculpture if you're doing a porcelain look. You would later add other colors to it, and lastly you'd put an iridescent or shiny glaze on it if you're learning at school. If you're learning from home, you may not have that. So just make it work for you. Here I'm mixing a green because the third option you have is just to use bright or bold or even pastel colors, and you want to kind of make it look a little bit abstract, because if you choose this choice, you're referencing the artist and the artwork shown in the Degenerate art show. Once you're done painting the base coat, then you're ready to add detail. Here I'm creating 3 different colors using brown and metallic green to make my artwork look like a real bronze sculpture. Sometimes they have something called a patina applied to them, or they patina over time from oxygen. It's where they green a little bit. So here I created a dark, a medium, and a light kind of patina color. I'm going to paint the darkest value first, then the medium value, then the light value. Here I'm creating a gradient where they smoothly blend from one to another. You'll notice when I did this, I left a little bit of space or white space in between each color so that I had room to blend them. Now I'm going in and I'm applying these values in strategic places on my artwork. I'm adding the darkest patina, that dark greenish brown, underneath the armpits and next to folded areas. And I'm also working from dark to light to show kind of a gradient patina. So that means I'm putting down the dark green color, then I'm putting down that medium green-brown, and then I'm putting in that light brown-green color. And I'm putting them right next to one another and kind of blending them together. Here you'll see me put in that dark value wherever there's a crack or a crevice, and I'll put the lightest color and even just the pure metallic color on parts that are facing up, because that's where the light would hit this sculpture if there really was a light. It will help your artwork look shiny. If you're doing something like a face, start with the dark values first and put them in areas or blocks around where you know you're going to put the facial features. Then you can use that lightest value to paint where the mouth or the nose would go to make those things pop. It's best to work in layers, and that means you got to let stuff dry. Here I'm going to create some tints of blue for the more porcelain themed painting inspiration. So I made my 3 values, and now I'm practicing a gradient. You're going to want to blend and move your brush in multiple directions to make them blend. Don't add water to this to help it blend. It will make your artwork a soggy mess. But you can have your brush a teeny tiny bit wet, so not totally dry. Here I have covered up one side of the sculpture. I tried to do some detailed work. I didn't like it, so I just painted over it, and that's fine with this paint. In the other area, I'm trying it a little bit differently, and I'm having success with those waves I just did. So experiment, try new things. You can always let it dry and paint it over The key is let it dry though, so it doesn't mix together. Here I'm creating the other side. This is if you just go colorful. You can use painter tape to get straight lines. If you're using a super light color, add white underneath it, let it dry so that it will pop more. Like I said, if you change your mind, just go over it again. So here I'm making multiple values, and I'm gonna kind of dab my brush to create texture to make it look like grass to cover up these areas. Then I'll let it dry and do my vines on top.